Hi, and welcome to our program. Today we are visiting the exhibition Gender and Identity with Asbjørn Krag, one of the photographers. Let's check it out. Go to the next one?
Yeah.
Oh, I really like her clothing.
Yeah.
Was it also thought about?
No, actually not. So this this series is actually the one that is thought out the least, I'd say.
Okay.
So we initially had some ideas of what we wanted to do, and we were chatting about that. Mm-hmm. And then some of those things didn't really work out in terms of, like, we wanted to do some stuff with a projector, but we couldn't get the right projector and like stuff like that.
Oh, okay. Like so, for something to be on her skin or something?
Yeah.
Okay.
But so we actually just like jammed. Like she just brought like a lot of her clothing, and I had all of these different lights and light modifiers and stuff like that, and I had a smoke machine. And then, I mean, I just loved this outfit.
Yeah,
and then
it's
putting
great.
it on like a completely natural background, like really makes it pop. And then we were just trying out different lighting and stuff like that. So this is a very playful shoot. It's not very planned out. Mm-hmm. So this was like a very natural process. And then I think that's also like speaks a lot to like Emma as a person, because I think she's like very like in that vein, like very playful and joyful and like willing to try out different things, and yeah. So I think it's very fitting, and I think these turn out like really beautiful.
Yeah, I really like the outfit. Like, oh, my God. Yeah, so that was kind of also what you wanted to show, kind of. I know that I always come back to the meaning.
Yeah.
But it's like how my brain works.
Yeah.
Like how kind of she stands up, like stands out. I mean.
Yeah, like it's very colorful, because she's a very colorful person, or has a very colorful personality. That's very like magnetic.
Yeah, this is so nice. So none of those poses were like planned or.
No, these are all like, this again is like, so she's like doing some stuff, and then I just turn a little bit and I'm like, oh yeah, that looks very, very good. And I feel like it's not that it doesn't have meaning or significance because it's made in that way. Mm-hmm. It's more about, like, I'm not thinking actively about it. So that's again where like intuition comes into play. Mm-hmm. Like you just have to trust that what I react to and what I like, I'm reacting to it because it has significance, or it does what it's supposed to do, if that makes sense.
Yeah. And how long did this shooting took?
I mean, all of these took a long ass time. I think we also did some other kinds of shoots with Emma, and I think it's like 4 hours or 5 hours.
Okay, each or in total?
In total.
Okay.
Like for each model or for each shoot, I think it's like 5 hours, some of them less, some of them more. Okay.
Wow, if you think 5 hours and then you get 5 pictures, oh my God.
I have a lot of pictures. Like this
can imagine.
isn't even half of it.
Yeah, I can I can really imagine. And all of this shooting were made specifically for the exhibition, right? Yeah. Okay. So.
Exactly.
Okay.
So that it is made with that in mind. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. But since you mentioned that before you also worked with identity, I just thought that maybe one of the shootings, like you already had it, and you're like, okay, this actually fits. But no, everything was made.
Everything is made. Everything was made in February.
Okay, damn.
Yeah.
Everything. Wow.
That's a
lot of work.
pressure.
Yeah. And you're also giving the workshop in February.
Yeah. So I was making this while I was making a photography workshop and a little bit of other stuff.
Yeah, I can imagine. Wow. Okay. So the next one?
So Ayla. Yeah. This, I think, was one of the most... I think in the idea phase, it was the most difficult. Because we like the same things and the same aesthetics.
Shouldn't it be easier then?
No, because we couldn't really figure out like what we wanted to do.
Okay.
We just liked ideas
everything.
And we liked aesthetics and we like we can do this and this and this and this, and it never like materialized into something where we could be like, this is the central idea.
Okay.
Until I met with my friend Senna, who's here, and she just blurted something out, like, this could be cool, which was, what was it? It was like Virgin Maria, but like dark. And then I was like, oh yeah, that's a great idea. And then I talked with Ayla about it, and they loved the idea as well. So that's just what we went with. And then the rest of this, like this is like the central idea, and the rest of this is like a little bit of like those other things that we talked about, those other aesthetics and like things that we like a lot. And I think some of these photos like really also like are in competition with this for sure. Like for example, this is just amazingly beautiful, I think.
Which one is your favorite? Okay, from this one, let's keep it easy.
I think that one, like the main one, is the most powerful one. Okay. Like it's just very intense and a little bit overwhelming of like just imagery and emotion that's conveyed. And I think this is probably one of the most beautiful ones. And you can actually, I think you can kind of like see these two as like two sides of like the same coin. So the two like things that I have seen in Ayla. I haven't known them for that long, like for half a year. Okay. But we've become like quite close. But these are like the two things, like the power and then the vulnerability. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, because this also seems like the devil side, kind of, and it is the angel side. Yeah. Was it the idea?
No, again, like you're working with like intuition and what makes sense, and like putting together these things. So I feel like they are complementing each other and stuff like that. So like usually like meaning and stuff like that, for me as well, comes afterwards, like after I've made the things. Then I begin to think about it, and then I can begin to be like, oh yeah, okay. So that's sense. Why, like, until then, it's very much like
like unconscious process. Like it is there, but you just didn't.
Yeah, it's like an unconscious process.
Wow.
So like my unconscious is working for me, and I just have to trust it. That's basically what intuition is, right?
Yeah, and maybe you can explain how did you take this picture? Because I think like with the addresses and the heart, like how.
It was very complicated. So what's going on here is like they are holding a pig's heart that I bought from a butcher. Then I made some fake blood. I have a recipe for that. It's pretty easy to make actually. That I dribbled over the heart and on their face. Then there is a spot, a yellow spot behind them, and a lot of like smoke in the room, creating this kind of halo vibe. And then I think it's just not a spot, but not a softbox. It's harsh lighting coming from this direction. So it's like a lot of things.
Yeah, a lot of things happening.
Just needs to happen at the same time, and with positioning and all those things. So I think when we like got it all set up, we got it within an hour or something like that.
Okay. So it took 1 hour with everything. Like you already knew the things that you wanted, kind of.
Yeah, I think actually this shoot is the most meticulously planned out.
Okay.
Like I want it to look like this, and then that's pretty much how it ended up looking.
Okay. Damn. And even with all the planning and everything, it still took 1 hour to get the.
Yeah, like of taking the pictures.
Yeah.
Like then there's setting it up, and then them getting the clothes and the makeup and the jewelry and like all of that stuff. That is outside that 1 hour. So this probably took like 2 hours where they were there, and then maybe 3 hours of me, like 1 hour of me planning beforehand. So 3 hours to get that.
That is a lot of time. Were all of these pictures taken in the same day, or did you also have several shootings and then chose like a few of each? Because this one is the most diversified one.
I think so. These ones were taking actually the day before. We had a whole shoot where we tried out a lot of like colored lighting and all of that nice stuff. And then this was taking the day after, just trying to get that in like the span of like 3 hours, as I said.
Wow, that's a really long time.
Yeah.
And what about the editing? How long did it take? So in general, counting everything, how long did it take for you to get this picture right now? How it looks right now, I mean.
That's a very good question. I mean, there's pre-production, so like there's ideating and getting to the idea. Then there is figuring out what things you're going to need to get that image. And then there is planning it out, and then you are actually taking the photo and then editing afterwards. And then in this case, editing. So I edit how I want the picture to look, and then I edit for print afterwards.
Okay. So you always have two versions of the pictures that you take.
Yeah. So there's one for like social media and web, and then there's one for print, because those two things are very different. I don't know. I think I tried to like calculate the whole thing in terms of like work hours, and I think what I reached is like a month of full-time work.
Okay.
And then that is around 160 hours.
Wow, that is a lot.
To get this wall. So I don't know how long each picture takes individually.
Yeah, but this one, I think this one, and maybe the one with the liquid latex, like they seem the ones that took the longest. Yeah. Because of all the addresses and stuff, but I don't know if my thought process is correct.
I think you're pretty right about that. I think Daniel's shoot, we did some different stuff there as well with different backgrounds. But that was a little bit more straightforward. Also because we have talked so much about it, so we know what we wanted to do. And this was like very like playful. So that's just us like going for it and then figuring out like things fall into place like while we're doing it. But yeah, like Ella's shoot, Isla's shoot, and Senna's shoot were like the most time consuming in preparation before the shoot even starts. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, then maybe we can get to the last one. Oh wow, does she have those contact lenses that are like white?
Yeah.
Hi, this is a bit scary. Wow. But it's very angel-like also.
Yeah. That's also kind of like put those up to create some contrast. But yeah, so this is Senna, and Senna I've known for a long time. I think, I don't even know, like some years, maybe 4 or something like that. And yeah, like this is one of those things where it just like pops into my mind, and I don't really know why or where it's coming from. I can have some ideas about it. There's definitely some like a science fiction inspiration. There's some fantasy inspiration, for sure. But yeah, this aesthetic and this look just popped into my mind, and I'm just like, this is going to look great. And Senna loved it. Like, it's very her, because she is almost always wearing all beige. Like everything
really?
she owns is beige.
Oh my god, how? I use like this once and it gets dirty. Like,
yeah, I don't know.
Wow,
and
I
then
admire that.
I wanted to like create something that's a bit otherworldly, because there is something about her aesthetic and personality that's kind of in that vein, like something like elf-like. And I think she also brands herself on her Instagram. She has like a tagline that is interdimensional traveler. So she's very much in that aesthetic of like otherworldly, being in internet culture and sci-fi and fantasy and stuff like that. So this was just perfect. Like we created a tagline that was beige sci-fi elven princess.
That's really long.
Yeah. That's what we
Wow.
wanted to get, and that is pretty much what we got.
Yeah, it looks so cool. For the makeup, did she suggest it, or did you also have an idea, or like for this tie thing that I don't know what it's called?
So I think like a lot of this is actually like I got an idea, I presented it to Senna, and then she loved the idea. I kind of knew she would. And then, so a lot of this is actually like my idea, and then her, because she's very good with like costumes and makeup and stuff like that, her like trying to create that. So the face paint was my idea, and then it's her like drawing it out and us figuring out like how we want to do it.
Okay, and the contact lenses and everything?
The contact lenses was my idea too. Yeah, so this is actually technically, it's not like all white contact lenses, because she wouldn't be able to see anything. And I think that's pretty uncomfortable when you're doing a photo shoot. So this is actually like white contact lenses, but where the pupil is still exposed, and then I've just removed it afterwards.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, so this is like very close to what I had in mind when I imagined it. It was just a very clear idea.
Yeah. Wow. Also, any particular reason why these 4 pictures are so bright and this one is like darker?
I mean, that's me playing a little bit around with lighting, and yeah, trying stuff out. I think the reason I chose this for like the main image is that I think that is what communicates the best what we were trying to communicate, like this tagline I talked about. Like this is very, again, regal, like royal-like. So I think that is the one that hit like the nail on the head completely. And then these just support that idea. Makes it a bit more like magician, like sorcery kind of over here, and then a little bit more like almost like Amazonian vibe down here.
Yeah. Was that also why you chose the crystal ball and everything?
I was just like, a crystal ball is gonna look so fucking good. And then I found one like pretty cheaply actually. I think it was like 125 or something like that. I was like, I have to get it. And it was so cool to work with. And again, giving this like bit of this like fantasy, like scrying, sorcery kind of vibe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Wow, so cool. Then maybe we can check the studio where you took all the pictures. So all of these pictures were taken in the studio, right?
Yeah. They were, and it's actually a newly created studio. Mm-hmm. So it was just finished when I started working on it. Here we are.
That's cool.
A little bit messy, but
No problem. So this is where the magic happens.
Yes, very much so. So this studio, I actually talked with Uge18 back in November about this studio, and that I think it would make sense for this house to have a photography or video studio. So I talked with them about that, and they put a little bit of money into like being able to get another lamp. Then this is my lamp or my company's lamp. So we can like put together some things, and then we have like a nice studio that has like all the basic needs you would have for a photography studio. Then I also applied for some funds for this exhibition, and got that. So I was able to get even more things that we would need for the studio.
Yeah.
So this studio I worked on in like January and February, like putting it together, getting some help from Jens, who's like very good at figuring out how to put things up and stuff like that. And it was just finished when I started shooting with Ella, because she was the first. And it was also my first time shooting in a studio.
Ah, really?
Yeah. Like all of the times it's been like on location or outside, or like in November it was like I got a white backdrop and I put it up in like the atelier downstairs where it's just like a mess and paints everywhere. So I just put it up and like you can like cover it and then you get some lighting and stuff like that. So it looks like a studio, but it was not a studio. So this is like, I feel like this is a real studio, and it was really like, I was really grateful for having that for this project. And I'm very grateful for having it now, because I can see how it just like immediately elevated my photography. But I think all of the work up until then of having to like figure out and like using the sun and like finding good lighting and stuff like that, I think that trained me to know how to get what I want when I can control everything. Because in here I can control all aspects of photography.
Wow, and which one do you like the most? Here or?
I really like studio, because I really like creating like the aesthetics that I want, like being able to control it kind of. I think that's very fun. But I also like love outdoors photography, or like more intimate at people's homes and stuff like that. That's also very, very nice. But I like creating like the more like wild aesthetics as some of these photos are.
Yeah, so cool. Then, so you used the background, right? You changed the background? Yeah,
we have like 8 backdrops in different colors. 9 in total, because 2 are the same. And then we got these lamps, we got these reflectors, we got some light modifiers for these. So we have some barn doors with color filters. And we have a snoot that creates like just the spotlights. Smoke machine. What else did I use? Then I got all sorts of like makeup and body paint and liquid latex and all that good stuff.
Was it super messy in here?
Oh yeah. Thankfully on just the backdrop, and then I could just like cut a slice off. Yeah, and then we borrowed some clothing actually from the clothing club just beside. They were very nice to lend us some really cool clothing.
Yeah, that is cool.
Yeah.
Wow. And this is all you need to get those amazing pictures?
Yeah.
Wow. I don't know if there's anything else that you would like to add about the exhibition or about your work, about the studio.
I mean, I don't think so. Like, I really loved creating this, and I think I will do it a lot more going forwards. I do a lot of like press photography for like bands and stuff like that, but I really enjoy just being able to do something a little bit more experimental and like in the vein that I really like doing photography. So I'm very grateful for that opportunity.
Yeah. So do you think it's going to be a more real possibility to have more photo exhibitions now here and for you to experiment and everything?
Yeah, for sure. I think Uge18 loved this exhibition, and I think now that I have these photos, it's going to be a lot easier for me to like apply for funds or apply for other places to exhibit, for sure.
Yeah. Wow, that's cool.
Yeah.
Look forward to see that. Then thank you so much for showing us around. And
thank you.
Perfect. That was it for today. Thank you so much for staying with us. See you next time.
Ungdomsradio. 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 Ungdomsradio.